Now, the book, and by the way, I finished it on August 8th. Alright. The book, I don't know if you can see here. So there's always the chapter are in bold, right? And then you have something like this at the end of almost each chapter. And they're either extracts, which are always fun. Extracts are encyclopedia. So it's really as if you opened an encyclopedia of that universe and you learn more. So it's always, I love those parts. I love those. You know, that's when I feel like I'm watching the Discovery Channel. You know, I'm like, okay, this happened in the year, blah, 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 blah. So I love that. Then there's something called lists. They're very weird. They're like haiku or poems. It's kind of irrelevant. And then you have something that's called quantum walks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, quantum walk, which do not make sense at all until the last chapter. And that is something that Mr. Robinson always does. And that's something that you have to keep in mind when you read this and not get frustrated by. When you start a novel by this author, you get swept by. And 5 gazillion things do not make sense. Doesn't matter. Ride along. Ride it, baby. Go with it. Go with the flow. And then eventually, he explains everything and it all falls into pieces. It all falls into pieces and it's all great, but you go along for the ride and then he explains everything eventually. You really do. Like, I finished the book and I knew everything that I wanted to know about the universe. So the 2 main themes that are throughout the book, one of them is the environment, as always. So it touched upon in many ways, like the earth, you know, how do the earth, because of the, how do we call it in English? Oh my god! The greenhouse effect, you know, and the sea have risen because all the ice and Antarctica and Arctica melted, so the ocean rose, so it fucked up the whole world and tons of species were endangered. So there's this whole debate about what's happening there. And also they have created artificial environment into space. So in outer space, they created artificial habitat like Noah's Arks, small Noah's Arks or small zoos, where they preserved both animals and plants. And those, he spends so much time describing. That's really a thing that was, instead of having ships transporting people from one planet to the other, those closed environment, those zoos, are used to transport people from planet to planet, or moons to planet, or, you know, comets, asteroids, whatever. And those are either moon or asteroids or comet or satellites, whatever, carved up and then filled with this replica of an environment that then gets spinning, so it creates a gravity. And then they put an engine in the end and it's used as a spaceship. And he describes all of those in much detail. Much detailed. So if you can't really imagine, yeah, so it's as if there was no sky, right? It's like a land that's like all over, and then, yeah. So there's that. The second thing is gender. So he, you know, gender is not defined as it is today. So like, he's a feminist queer author. He really out there. So for example, starting in the womb, you start, you know, anyway. So you can have a man, a woman, but it's you who identify, and you can have a penis or a vagina, but then grow the opposite organ. So if you have a penis, you can grow a small vagina and a fully functional uterus. Or you can be a woman, have a vagina, and grow a small penis and testicles, and be able to, those are functioning, so it could also lead to life. So you either father a child or you mother a child, meaning you either provide, you know, the chromosomes through sperm, or you provide an ovary. But, you know, You could be a man or a woman doing that. And he spends a lot of time describing this, why do we do this, and how this came about, and how do we achieve this. This is mainly due to a lot of genetic mutation and manipulation. What I found the biggest stretch of science fiction in his novels, both the Mars trilogy and 2312, is what is called longevity treatment. So you go every few years and you have a longevity treatment. So your DNA is reconstructed, healed, every imperfection that has grown is being repaired, and you can add things, you know, do you want to have a bird brain? Do you want to purr like a cat? Do you want, you know, this is a little bit of the stretch, and, you know, do you want to have a second, you know, set of genitalia? Yeah, it's up to you. So that was great. And then the final theme that is touched upon, though a little bit less, even though weirdly enough, it does play a gigantic part into the main story arc, which was the terrorist attack. And that is the development of AI. So there was never any AI in any of his novels. I mean, other than a computer, you know, that could calculate program. But in this, he created what is referred to as quantum computers. So it's basically a network of computers that is reduced into a quantum cube. And this quantum cube, which is about the size of a chip, can, you know, fit into a watch or anything like that. And then you can access it, and this computer is super intelligent. And the question is it appears that it would seem that it's likely that these computers are starting to develop a consciousness. So what is a consciousness? Can they really have a consciousness? So all of these are developed. Oh, anyhow, if you have questions, comments, if you've read any Kim Stanley Robinson's book, you know, let me know if you like them. Do you like him? What's your favorite science fiction book? You know, I'm not huge on aliens. Every time aliens, you know, hard science fiction usually does not include alien. So, you know, I'm always bugged by aliens, but I love science fiction nonetheless. So I really do hope you give 2312 a try. I mean, you can read this book and literally lend it to another friend and be like, what did you think? I mean, it's a real, to me, it feels like a real book club discussion book. You know, it's not just, do you think she ended up with the right guy? No. It's, what did you think of this? What are the consequences of that? He saw the future world to be like this. Do you believe that this is a good thing? You know, how do you think human society should solve their problem and evolve in a more peaceful and productive manner? That's, you know, brilliant. So there you go. I love 2312 by Kim Stanley Robinson, and I hope you give it a try. So leave comments below, check my Facebook page or my Twitter account, and until next time, take care, bye.